Hello, Peter Vaughan here again, and this segment we're going to do in this little mini section of training is to look at what a personality is. So your personalities are created by your name. Now when you came out with a body, and then they date stamped you with your birth date. Then they gave you a name. Now whether the name was thought beforehand or afterwards or was mucked around, and whoever named a person, the name was given to a person like clothing. It was covering the person. So it's what you appear to be to other people. And in this case, it's your personality types. And there are several personalities built into each person. So I'm going to explain them with Abraham Einstein. He was born Abraham. And they gave him the name Albert because of a difference between what was acceptable in his country of birth and what was not. It was a Jewish type name and they had to try and remove that. So he was actually born as Abraham Einstein. Now what I've done, I've actually crunched it all up to condense this down, but under each letter, as we've done before, I put the number of the letter already in place, and then I've added those together to get the number 26. So Abraham comes to the number 26 if you add up those numbers there. On Einstein, I've done the same thing, and it comes to 41. I've reduced 26, 2 plus 6 to 8, and I've reduced 41 to 5 to simplify it. In the real course training I do, I take those to the higher values, in fact even higher again, because I go into forensic analysis. So if I was to take the 8 here and the 5 there, that's where I get this 13. So 8 and 5 is 13. Now that is the total of the values reduced into a single number, 13, 4 I should say, I'll make that a 4. That's just total personality type. Now personality is measured by the way you look at a person, what their personality is like. And when I mentioned before about the numbers and what they mean and where they're found on something, it alters the meaning of them. Yellow flower, yellow truck, or car. So when I'm doing that, I could say that his personality fitted to a square type situation. So his name he has is to do with structure, analysis, hands-on approach to things. And that's very much what the 4 down here represents. Then I've taken the vowels out of the name, and I've done that by literally seeing that the A has a value of 1, there's another A the next vowel, and another A the next vowel. Add those up and I'll get 3 just by summing them. I've done the same here with Einstein, taken the vowels up, and 3 for Abraham are found, and there are, well, 28 is the total of the vowels in Einstein, which sum and reduce to the number 1. So if I add his first name and his last name together, I get another 4. When I talked again about where you find a number and what it means, the vowels, and I've got a red heart up there, they represent what you like doing, your passion in life. And the reason they're separated out to talk about the passion in your life is because the vowels have got no restriction when you're speaking as they come out of your mouth. A, E, I, O and U have got basically an air passage coming out without lip squeeze or stretching it over the top of the tongue or and these sorts of things. And B for B, the letters are different. The consonants are the squeezed or the crushed or altered letters, and the vowels are the soft ones. The soft ones represent what's easy, what you feel, which is good. The consonants are what you are hard nailed down to doing, what you really like, your real bricks and mortar. You might say that the vowels love like the paint job over the bricks. If I was to take just the consonants out, I get the number 6 here, because just the consonants coming down here, they sum to the number 2, 20 or 2 in Abraham, and over here the 13 or 4 from the vowel of the consonants coming down here, which I've underlined in orange. So 2 plus 4 equals 6, and these are the consonants. This is his work attitude. And a 6, as I mentioned earlier with his birth date, he was very responsible. So he was responsible in the way he did things, and he was responsible in the way he put himself into that. So he matched his birth data very, very well. Having the first name Abraham, your first name is the most important name of all of your names. It is the one that people called you at the very beginning of your life for several years. And when I showed that little brain thing in the last clips came through here, your brain, in a particular part of your brain called the amygdala, because we do cover these areas of your brain as well, I'm happy to say it, of course, to show you that the brain stems, or should I say the neurons, and the nucleus inside the neurons, they are learning survival qualities in your early years before you are consciously aware of what you're doing in life. And after about age 3 or 4, that part of you kind of seals up and says, right, I've got it now, I understand what I've got to do to survive. And in that case here, the name Abraham was what he was called when he was happy, sad, wet, excited, frightened, and they picked him up, cuddled him and changed him as parents will do, and they gave him a name. And Abraham, in this case here, was the name that he heard the most. It was a sound. It wasn't a name he understood, it was a sound. And so therefore that sound has a frequency or a vibration. The frequency or vibration of Abraham, because he was a very intelligent man and he used his brain, and I have shown you a few other word examples in the previous little clips here for these seminars. I've shown you that the words have a match with somebody. So I'm going to put under brain here 2, 9, 1, 9 and 5. And if we add that up, 2, 11, 12, 21 and 5 is 26. You could say that Abraham, in his value, which is named total to 8, and down here to 8 as well. There are intelligent names, there are artistic names, there are sporting names, there are accountants' names, there are names of people who analyse and people who've got dreams, big dreams. There's a whole variety of names that you have, and when you understand what your first name is, you can start to understand why you are the way you are. So we're now getting down to the crux of your personality building, and you will attract to you what you are, not what you want. I go through these things in my seminars to bring in psychology in, and to bring in the reasons why you are the way you are, and where you're going in life, and what's happening to you at any particular time. This makes the work that I do different to anything else you've seen out there, because I have a scientific evaluation behind everything. And therefore, personalities are created by your name. Albert, or should I say Abraham Einstein then, was a person who loved mechanics and technical fields. He was extremely responsible with what he did with the 6 here and the consonants, and he enjoyed basically having a creative or a hands-on approach to what he was doing. Challenging people have challenging names. It's not their fault. They just don't fit the vibration of life as easy as other people do. It's when you learn about your name and you learn why you are the way that you are, you can then match yourself with people who are like you, work in a company that fits you, a profession that's like you. When you do that, your life goes so much easier, so much more exciting, and in other words, you're not working for a living, you're having fun doing what you're doing, and then you'll get something out of that. Satisfaction. Well, lesson 5, we're going to be doing the next lesson following this one, so I hope you're enjoying this series. I'd love to see you get involved with this, because it's the most mind-blowing thing you'll ever get involved with.